Well, look, Washington fans, we know it's a big week winning in for the postseason. We hate to depress you, but this graphic gives you reason to not be thrilled about the current state of the franchise. Not that you need a reminder, but first-round quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era, at least in the last 26 years, not good. Starting with Heath Schuler, continuing with Patrick Ragdoll Ramsey, because it wasn't his fault. He got thrown around like the proverbial ragdoll during his career. Jason Campbell I never felt they believed in Jason Campbell the way they should. I think he could have been better if they really, truly had embraced him. I don't know what the issue was there, although it probably was What a shock. Some sort of disagreement in the upper reaches of the organization and the coaching staff over whether or not they should embrace the guy. But then the RG3 debacle with the Shanahans, they didn't want him. The owner did. And then Dwayne Haskins Jr., all indications are the owner wanted him. Nobody else did. And now Dwayne Haskins is gone. Released on Monday abruptly. The Washington football team choosing to rip the Band-Aid off and admit the mistake and move on instead of compounding it, even though they could have held him and maybe traded him in the offseason to wherever Urban Meyer ends up if he ends up back in the NFL. Unclaimed on waivers yesterday. Chris, what do you believe is next for Dwayne Haskins?
Well, I mean, I don't expect anything to happen anytime, soon. That's for sure. I think it's going to be one of those things where, yeah, he's going to have to, take some time off. He's going to be off a team here for a little bit. His agent and his crew there are going to have to start talking to teams that felt like maybe were interested during the draft process, and they're going to have to try to find teams that make sense for Dwayne Haskins to kind of rebuild himself. Listen, nobody's going to bring him in to be a starter. We know that. Really, nobody is going to logically bring him in to be a backup quarterback right now. There's no way. Not just go like, hey, we're going to sign you. You're the backup here. That's not going to happen. You can't, as an NFL organization, trust him right now at this point. You'd have to see him and evaluate a little bit and know he's on the right path before you're going to anoint him as your backup. So he needs to find a team where really he can go and be a third stringer and have no pressure of playing or performing and learn a little bit, learn to, be a mature man, a professional, all of those things. And then he's going to have to rebuild from there. But to me, it's something like that, Mike. That's where I said, like yesterday, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's a scenario to look at. Another scenario. I'm just throwing scenarios out there right now to you. Like, okay, the Seattle Seahawks, right? They got Russell Wilson. They got Geno Smith. That's one. That's two. But then, okay, we got Dwayne Haskins. Maybe he could be our 2 years from now. And maybe by that time, he could, get himself righted to where if Russell Wilson did get hurt, we could feel really good about, man, we got Dwayne Haskins as a backup and we can throw him in there. To me, it has to be that sort of situation at this point for Haskins.
And it has to be a situation he's comfortable with as well as it relates to opportunities to develop, eventual opportunities to play. But he needs really good advice on picking that next spot because he needs maturity. He needs a team that believes in him.
Yes.
He needs an opportunity to grow. He's 23 years old. It's too early to just say this guy's done, it's over. And there are people who are suggesting that it was some sort of serious reach by Washington to take him with the 15th overall pick. No, it wasn't. Somebody was taking him in the first round. Somebody after Washington was going to take him, and if we got down into the 20s, what was going to happen is someone was going to trade back in to round 1 and get him with that 5-year contract. He was going in round 1. This wasn't some ridiculous, what the hell are they thinking type of a draft pick. It just hasn't worked out. It wasn't the right spot for him. It wasn't the right player for the team. There's too much fluctuation and turmoil and stuff happening in Washington right now. It just wasn't a good marriage. And now they move on, and they may have done him a huge favor. And this may be the wake-up call he needs,
hopefully.
The Chris Carter style, early career wake-up call.
Right.
Not that the problems are similar between the two guys, but sometimes it's that indignity. It's that slap in the face. It's that, hey, it's time to grow up.
Right.
That's what it takes to get a guy to grow up and embrace what he needs to do. So it's going to be if he has multiple options. I mean, it may be an easy call for him. He may only have one option wherever Urban Meyer goes. And if it's not that, the Steelers, I think, as you said yesterday, make a ton of sense. But I don't see any reason to complicate your life now as a team, to bring in a guy who doesn't know your offense, who brings all that baggage, who you'd have to get to know on the fly. It just doesn't make any sense for any team to sign him for the playoff run.
No, you're exactly right. Nobody wants that. Okay, yeah, we bring in a guy in, playoff run, and he's not going to really contribute to the team, but he's going to contribute to the daily media session and the clamoring of, that story and all. We know that. Teams don't want to deal with that. Dwayne Haskins, he's got talent. I know he's a good kid. I've heard too many people say it. It's not a guy that's got malice or meanness in him. Yeah, he's lost his way a little bit, and somebody needs to kind of show him the right way here. And hopefully he can find a team that does support him the right way, has a little faith in him, has a little patience in him, and doesn't need him to be something. Like, to me, that's where you take a shot on him. Again, I'll throw another scenario out there. I don't know if this exactly works, right? But like a team like Tampa, that would be another team I would think about, where I know they drafted the kid from Washington this year, who's a big, strong-arm kid. But, hey, Brady one more year. Hey, let's have Dwayne Haskins in. Let's see what maybe we can bring him into something. We like risk-it, no-biscuit throwing type of quarterbacks who sit in the pocket. That's what he can do. So, but to me, it has to be something like that would make sense for Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, look, he's got to get another chance. He's like I said, he's 23, and young guys do dumb, selfish, stupid things because I did plenty of them. And if I'd have had $10 million on top of that, I did dumb, stupid, selfish things, and I didn't have any money. Right. You give me money on top of it, I'd have been 1,000 times worse. So I can understand the situation, but it's time to grow up now. This is it. This is the moment. This is the reckoning, and this is the wake-up call for Dwayne Haskins. We'll see what happens with him in 2021 because, Chris, I think we both agree we're not going to see him again in uniform anywhere in 2020.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.